How annoying is it when you open up your bank account a few days after payday and you see all of your money's gone already, but you don't know where it's gone and you don't know how the money you've got left is going to last you to the end of the month? If you've ever thought that or you're feeling that at the moment, then this video is going to be for you because today we're going to go through a model payday routine that will help you be able to stretch your money out and make sure your money is going towards the right areas of your life to be able to make sure you can sustain yourself now, build a future for yourself, but also spend a little bit of money on yourself as well. Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome back to the channel where here we talk about everything to do with personal finance, growing your money, side hustles, and anything you can think of that helps either educate you financially or take your financial future forwards. I love going into detail on how we can help you grow your money and help make your money work for you. And today's video is going to be a great example of that because we're going to talk about ideal model payday routine that will hopefully help you be able to make better use of your money and make sure you're putting it towards the things that are really important to you whilst also being able to cover your essential bills. There's nothing more frustrating every month than opening up your bank account without really an idea of where your money's going, but seeing that you don't have much left. Have you ever felt that? I've certainly felt that. This video is hopefully going to help address that and help provide a bit of narrative and something for you to be able to see where your money might be going each month and ultimately take control, because that's really the most important thing. If you've got control of your money, then already you're building towards a better financial future. Now, it's a weird start to the video, right? Because in front of me, I've got a load of random stuff and all will become clear as we go through the video on what this represents. But effectively what I've got here is a model, an example that I can show you of how you might allocate your money across different important areas of your life that help stretch your money out. So let's get stuck into what all of these props mean and what they do and the different steps through the video. Okay, so first of all, hidden behind here, we have this jug of water. This jug of water represents all of the money that you've got coming into your account every month. So whether that be your salary from your job and that's it, or whether it's your salary and some side hustle income, or any money that comes into your account on a monthly basis that you use to pay for monthly expenses. That's what this here represents. It doesn't represent things like maybe dividend income if you've got investments or anything like that that's more long-term income that you're perhaps using to build a financial future, be able to retire early, all those sorts of things. It doesn't really include that. This here represents the money that is essential for you coming into your account to be able to live and do the things that you want to do every single month. And then here in front of that, we have 7 glasses. These 7 glasses represent what I think are the 7 key areas of your life that you may want to allocate your money to help stretch your money out further. By going through these in order, starting on this side and working that way, hopefully it'll allow you to see the essential things that you need to put your money into, the things that you might want to put your money into to help your financial future, and then the things that you, if you have money left, that you may want to spend it on to enjoy each month. So I've effectively split these 7 glasses out into those 4 categories. So first of all, we've got needs. Needs are what they say on the tin. They are the essential things that you need to pay for or do every single month just to be able to live off the money that you've got coming in. So this is the first category that we're going to go through, and we'll go through what makes up that shortly. Next, we've got future. So this is a little bit more about building wealth and building money, the tools that you might want to leverage to be able to create a better financial future for yourself, so that maybe you want to retire early, or that when you do retire, you can go off and do all the things that you've always planned to do. You know, have you ever thought about that really lavish holiday, that really nice car? This category is really important for that because your future financials are really important. In the UK, pensions only, the state pension, I should say, only comes to just over £12,000 a year. Now, if you put that into context and think about your life at the moment, would £12,000 a year be able to sustain you for what you want to do in retirement and how you want to live your life? Probably not. That's exactly why that category is really important, because we're going to go into detail on how you can help grow your money and use your money a bit to better use and help put it to a future goal. We've then got a very helpfully named other category. I'll explain what makes up, and as you can see, there's only 1 glass represented here, what makes that up. But this is effectively anything that doesn't fall into those essential costs or those future goals and future financial targets that you might have. This other one captures those extra bits. And then lastly, on the end here, we have the fun one, but sadly it is on that end, but all will become clear as to why. We have wants. So this is anything that every single month you really want to do, whether that's going out for dinner with friends, spending money on a hobby, whatever it is. It could be totally random and it doesn't matter. These wants are exclusive to you, and the things that you want to spend your money on, they're the things that you get the most value out of by spending your money on them. So that's why they come at this end, because there's a lot of important stuff that needs to go on over here. But this is a fun one, and we will get to this one at the end of the video. Okay, so let's take the first one. We're going all the way back down here into our needs category, and that's where we're going to start. And our first jar is essential bills. So again, it does what it says on the jar. Essential bills are anything that you absolutely need to pay every single month to just be able to get through. So things like mortgage, utility bills, shopping, grocery shopping, food shopping, all of those things that are really essential for you to be able to just get through the month, and things that you will inevitably have to pay for. These are the things that you should make sure you're covering off first. Essential bills also make up a really big kind of portion of money that you might need for what's termed as an emergency fund. More on that in a minute, because we're going to come on to that. But yeah, that's what essential bills are. Those anything that you have to pay for every single month that you know is going to be a fixed cost. So let's put a little bit of our water in there, because some of our money that's now come into our account every month has to go straight towards our essential bills. So we've got that one covered and we've paid that one off. Next up, we have high interest debt, which is step number 2. High interest debt is effectively like an anchor on your finances. So think of things like credit card debt that you might have, high interest loan payments that you might have. They're probably the most obvious two that sit in that high interest debt category. If you've got money going towards high interest debt, or you've got high interest debt yourself that you need to put money towards, the interest rate on these is going to weigh down anything you go on to do in any of these later stages here on this journey. This is going to weigh that down. So if you're not paying this down, it's going to be really hard, particularly in the future section, to be able to grow your money. So make sure you've got a plan to be able to pay off this high interest debt, whether that be steady payments over a longer period of time, because that's all you can afford right now, or you want to take this as the priority and you want to go at it really hard and you want to put lots of your money towards this to get it paid off so you can start unlocking some of these things down here. Whatever your views are on it and wherever you currently are at the moment financially, this is the second thing, in my opinion, on this list that you should be looking to get paid down. Because if you can remove this ultimately from the process completely, all these things that we're going to go on to become much, much easier really quickly. So once you've got those essential bills paid off, making sure you've got high interest debt paid off is another really key early step to make sure you're unlocking your financial potential. So let's put a little bit of water in there as well. Now, as I say, this one might not always stay in the system, because it may be that actually you're attacking your high interest debt at the moment, and actually then you don't need to be paying any money towards it. If you reach that stage, that's great, because obviously it means this same amount of money is being split over less glasses. What that means is you can put more money towards each one. Essential bills, to be honest, do tend to stay relatively the same. They tend maybe inflationary increases every single year. So when you've got high interest debt paid down, this one's fixed. All of a sudden you can start going on to these things, and you'll see why these things are more fun in a moment. So the next one, step 3 on this journey, and step 4 overall, is an emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund, in my opinion, is absolutely critical to you being able to build any form of financial future and financial base. Emergency funds allow you to be able to pay off any unexpected bills, large payments that come in out of nowhere that you weren't expecting. Maybe a large vet bill, or something goes wrong with the boiler, or something goes wrong with your car, or anything like that. That's what this jar is here to do. It's here to allow you to pay off those bills without having the rest of your financial system impacted. So emergency fund effectively creates this pool of money that you can then withdraw from the system, and sits there for you to then be able to use when one of those emergency pops up. Any money that goes into here should be put into a high interest but easy access savings account. The ideal goal for an emergency fund is roughly 3 to 6 months of your fixed income. So the reason why I put it here is because, to me, your fixed expenses every month, I should say, not fixed income, your fixed expenses every month really fall in these two categories here. So that's why I put emergency fund third, because this money here needs to be able to cover off anything else that you can't afford from being paid in this area here, and it needs to be able to cover off these things if you were to lose your job for any reason and you maybe went 2 or 3 months without work. That's why we say the 3 to 6 months, because this money you can then take to pay for these expenses every single month while you're looking for a new job. So let's put a little bit of water into there as well, shall we? Hopefully I don't spill any of this because I'll be in so much trouble. There we go. So we've now got all of our needs are now done. We've got our essential bills covered here. We've got our high interest debt covered off here. We've got our emergency fund covered off here. Now we're going to move category and we're going to go on to step 4 of these glasses, step 5 overall. And we're going to move on and look at your future and how you can start building a financial future. If you've got these done, great, because now you're starting to look forward, and that's where we really want to get to. So this next stage in the middle here is where things start to get a little bit more fun, because let's be honest, these things aren't the most fun. So the next one we've got is pension. So I'm going to put that one down there. So a pension is, I'm sure most of you watching this video will know anyway, but just in case as background, a pension is effectively you being able to build towards your retirement. That's what a pension is used for. It is normally an investment account. It can be a cash account. Recommend against those. Separate video I'll link down below on the ins and outs of pensions, specifically and what they are and what pensions to be looking out for you. But in principle, a pension allows you to put money towards your future, particularly your retirement, so that you have money in retirement once you're not working anymore. I mentioned earlier in the video about the state pension being currently £12,000 a year, and the current retirement age in the UK is around 67, 68. There's going to be lots of movement, depending on when you're watching this video. There's going to be lots of movement in the coming years on that, in particular on retirement age. So this one's really important, because if you want to retire early, this is definitely something that you should be putting your money towards. But even if you're not retiring early, that state pension doesn't provide you enough money just to be able to live day to day, really, without having any other form of income. So that's why pensions are really, really important. But as I say, I've done another video on the details of pensions, so I'll link that down in the description below in case it's of interest and you want to learn a bit more about your pension. But your pension's a really important one to be putting money into. As I say, before I pour the water in here, actually, some of your money comes out actually before you even get here, because it comes out of your account before your money makes it to this stage. But this is also here because if you want to be contributing more money to your pension, that's another thing to be considering as part of this financial journey. So that's why I put it in here as an investment to your future self. So let's put a little bit of water in there as well. Let's put that there. So next up on this stage, and number 5 and number 6 in the overall journey, is other financial. So by other financial, I appreciate that's a bit of a vague term, but really it encompasses anything else that you might want to put your money towards that is a bigger long-term financial goal. So whether that's additional investing outside of your pension, so maybe you own a stocks and shares ISA that you want to put more money in towards your pension because you've already maxed out your employer contributions and that's now a better use for your money, or whether it be you want to save more money separate to your emergency fund that you want to put towards things like buying a house for the first time or buying a brand new car or anything like that. Any other financial goals that you have, that's what this glass represents. So it allows you to put money towards bigger financial payments that you might have in the future that you don't want including in particularly these two areas. So we're going to put a little bit of water in there as well. As I say, that one really can encompass anything that's kind of important to you, to be honest. You can put anything in there at all, housing, all those sorts of things. That's all covered in that other financial pot. So now we've covered the future section. So we've got our needs covered and we've got our future covered, which is great. This is a really good position to be in, because at this point, if you're getting to this stage with your money and particularly if you've still got money to work with, you're doing a great job, because you know that you've got all of your bills covered. You're going to have yourself an emergency fund in case anything goes wrong. And in the future, you're going to have money that's going to allow you to either buy the things that you need or be able to retire early or retire and live the lifestyle that you want to live. So if you've got all these set up, then well done. You're doing a really, really good job. The next stage that we go on to is a vague one, and it's only got one glass in it, and it's called other. And the reason being, it just encompasses an extra layer to something that we covered earlier on, and that is low interest debt. So that's the next one that we're going to cover. Low interest debt is effectively the opposite of what we said down here, the opposite of high interest debt. But the reason why this one is so far down the scale is that the low interest debt won't be having so much of an impact on your financial future and being able to grow yourself financially for any of these areas. So that's why it's a little bit lower down. Things in here might include probably either like loans from family, maybe they've given you some money or a deposit for a house or something like that, or you've got a very small amount of debt on a 0% credit card that you've still got 2 years to pay off, for example. Whilst that can turn into high interest debt, it's very important to emphasize that. If you've got a plan to pay that off in 6 months and you know you'll have paid it off in 6 months, that's why it can sit down here in this category, because you're in control of that debt and it's not having an anchor on your rest of your financial system as much as the high interest debt will be. So this is just here to make sure that you're, at the end of the day, or you always want to make sure you're paying off all of your debts. So this shouldn't be excluded, but it just doesn't feature as highly as that high interest debt. So a little bit of water going in there for that one as well. As you can see, we're coming towards the end of our money now. We've started up here and we started full, and we've allocated it to all these different pots in our financial system every single month, which is great. If you go through this routine every single month, and of course you don't need to sit there with glasses out on a table and pour the water into each one with the money that you're spending, but this represents maybe a spreadsheet or something on your phone, a note, an app that you use on your phone to track your money. That's what all of this represents, because it just allows you to control where that money's going. And if we've got all the way to here and we're covering off everything that we really need to do to be able to live a secure life is now encompassed here, this is where we get to the fun one. So the label on the glass is the same as the label on the paper. It's classed as wants, and there is only one thing in this category which is wants. So that is the glass there for anything fun. I made it a wine glass because I thought that would be a fun thing to do. So this is anything that you want to spend your money on that isn't encompassed in this. So this will include anything you want to do in terms of going out every month, going out for dinner, going to watch a film, spending money on hobbies, buying something for yourself, clothes, all of these things. That's what's included in here. And this is the really fun one. This is the thing that allows you to go and do everything that you want to be able to do. Travel might be another one that's in there that's really popular for people. And I think it's key to make sure that using this one to explain that money shouldn't be coming from your emergency fund or being siphoned away from high interest debt or any of these other areas to pay for this. And that's why it comes at the end, because to be able to do the things you want to do, you need to be able to cover the things that you're going to need to do. And that's what's included here. Don't get me wrong, it is really difficult to have this one at the end, because you see all of your money, as you can see, disappear before you even get there. So you're thinking about, I don't know, the next pair of jeans that you want to buy or the next concert that you want to go to. And it's hard to move away from spending the money on this as soon as you get paid every month, rather than doing these things here. But by doing these things here, you give yourself better long-term control to be able to do so many more things in this category that you want to be able to do. I'm certainly not saying, and don't want anybody to think, that you shouldn't spend money on this category now. The ideal world is making sure that your finances allow you to get through all of these stages to be able to spend a little bit of money in this category every single month, because it's really important to make sure you're also doing the things that you want to do and it doesn't feel like your money is controlling you. So let's put some water into this one as well, because wants are really important and hopefully are going to make up a good amount of your money every single month as well. So let's put a good amount of water in there. The only thing to really flag at this point is that there's still a little bit of water left. Now, this is a personal thing from me. You certainly don't have to do this, but I like to do this, is that when I pull together my spreadsheet represented by these glasses here, I leave a little bit of money in my account every single month, even if it's just 50 or £100 unallocated for, so it doesn't fit in any of these systems. By doing that, it just allows me to catch any short-term expense that might come up that I hadn't thought about, or someone puts in a surprise birthday party and I've already got all of my money kind of allocated on what I want to spend it on this week, or this month, sorry, so I need an extra 50 quid. That's what this money's here to do. It's fluid, it flows around the system, it doesn't have a job, it just sits there until the end of the month. And if it's still there at the end of the month and you haven't spent it, great. You can take that forward into your next month and put it into this system here that allows you to pay all of these individual things. So I like to leave just a little bit of money in there at the end of the month or through the month, and hopefully it lasts till the end of the month so that I can then cycle it over. But it does allow me to just cover any of those little short-term things that might crop up that I need to spend money on. So there you have it. There is a payday routine that will hopefully help you spread your money out and allow you to control where you're spending your money. A lot of people, when their money comes into this here, almost do some of this in reverse, particularly this one here ends up sat down this end here. As soon as you start spending money in this category, it becomes quite hard to control, which means spending money on these other categories here becomes really, really challenging. So you end up missing out or only paying the interest off on a high interest debt rather than paying down the debt, which means that your bill's not getting it smaller every month. Or people skip saving for emergency funds because they spent too much money in this category. And then a bill comes in and they don't know how to pay it. The bill comes in, it gets paid for on a credit card, so you end up with it on high interest. And round and round and round you go. But by putting this simple system in place of your money coming in here and then starting at this end and working down essential bills, high interest debt, emergency fund, pensions, other financial stuff, other low interest debt, and then your wants here, that allows you to pay off your financial system and then have slowly build more and more money that you can spend in this category throughout the month. And I think it's a really good way of being able to just help control your money and let you control your money rather than your money controlling you. That's probably the ultimate message here. So yeah, hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully you've enjoyed me bringing some props along to the video today. If you've got any questions or comments, make sure you drop them down below. If you like this video, like this system, then make sure you give the video itself a like. Do subscribe as well, because there'll be lots more content like this. I've got lots more content already on the channel that hopefully you'll find useful. I've linked a few of them down in the description below, and also a couple of them will appear on the screen here for future content that you might be interested in as well. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video and look forward to seeing you in the next one.